Addod Solutions. Add-on desired.
Welcome to Addod Solutions Current Affairs Program. I am Venkat Sheshareddy. Now we will be looking into the articles that are relevant for our exam. The first article is 387 Mopla Mystery Martyrs to be removed from dictionary. What dictionary and who will be taking care of the dictionary and who is this Mopla and what is the Mopla Rebellion? Mopla Rebellion is a rebellion against the landlords. Initially, this was considered to be part of the independence movement only, but later now Indian History and Culture IHCR, this Indian Council of Historical Research ICHR, this organization ICHR has recommended to remove the names of 387 martyrs of this Mopla Rebellion from the independence movement martyrs, are the like these were not the people who fought for the independence. This was totally a exclusive rebellion that was against the landlords, or maybe this was a communal one. Now we may be thinking of getting a question from this area: Mopla Rebellion or non-cooperation movement, or maybe from the Khilafat movement. These are the potential areas where we will be somehow now we are expecting a question from these areas, as these are turning into a crucial important areas. Now this is ICHR, Indian Council of Historical Research, has recommended to remove the people who has participated in this Mopla Rebellion. Mopla Rebellion is a rebellion that happened around 1920-21. It started in 1920 and it ended in 1921. This was against the people who were having the land or the landlords to relieve land from these landlords, and this was having a communal tinge also. This was more or less organized by the Islamic people against the Brahmins, who were the most of the landlords were the Brahmins. And where did this happen? This happened in Kerala. That is, the name itself is recommending Malabar Revolt or maybe Mopla Revolt, and this has started after the revolt of this non-cooperation movement. And then that is the reason why this recent people like Indian Council of Historical Research has recommended to remove these names, as this has started after Khilafat movement started in the year of 1919. Malabar Rebellion or the Mopla uprising or Mopla revolt. Now this the trigger of uprising came from the non-cooperation movement launched by the Congress in 1920 along with the Khilafat agitation. What is Khilafat? Khilafat is a movement that was against the Ottoman Empire, where the nearby Turkey, the holy place of Islam is been to be relieved from that Christian world. So this is where Khilafat movement has started, and it has extended to India as well. The anti-British sentiment fueled by these agitations affected the Muslim Mapilas. New tenancy laws. After the death of Tipu Sultan 1799 in the 4th Anglo-Mysore War, Malabar had come under the British authority as part of the Madras Presidency. And then after that, what happened? The British had introduced new tenancy law that tremendously favored the landlords known as Janmis, and instituted far more exploitative system for peasants than before. So that had instigated the issue in the people. The new laws deprived the peasants of all guaranteed rights to the land, share in the produce they earlier got, and effect rendered them landless. The communal angle. Most of the landlords were Nambidar or Brahmins, while most of the tenants were Mapilas. Mapilas are the Muslim community people. And where is this? This happened in the Kerala or Madras Presidency. Now the revolt fueled by the fiery speeches by Muslim religious leaders and anti-British sentiments, the Mapila launched a violent rebellion. Numerous actions of violence were reported, and a series of persecutions were committed both against the British and Hindu landlords. Now support. The initial stage, the movement had support of Mahatma Gandhi and other Indian nationalist leaders, but as it turned violent, they have discharged their support. Collapse. By the end of 1921, the rebellion was crushed by the British, who had raised special battalion, the Malabar Special Force, for the riot. Like a wagon tendency. The November 21, 1687 Mopila prisoners were killed when they they were supported in a closed freight wagon from Tiruthu to the central prison in Podanur. They died of suffocation. This event is called the wagon tragedy. Now, this has been denotified kind of thing, where this is not for the purpose of independence, as this was totally against the sentiments. Afghan returnees to get polio vaccine. Now, what is this polio vaccine and why these people who are coming from Afghanistan alone are getting polio vaccine? Now, polio is a kind of virus where this will be causing the deformation of limbs, that may be hands or maybe legs. These are the deformations, or maybe like this will be causing permanent damage to the limbs or handicap the people who got affected because of this. Now, how this polio will be infecting the people? This may be waterborne disease, or maybe this could be causing the like remnants of this virus may be present in the fecal matter of the human being, so that finally the flies, house flies or some other things may be contaminating the water. So, this has been eradicated from our country, and we have been notified as the polio free country in 2014. The only two countries that are in Asia as a polio persisting countries are Pakistan and Afghanistan. Now, as Afghanistan under the turbulence, now we are subjecting the people who are coming from the Afghanistan for the polio vaccination, so that we can be able to safeguard. Now, who will be taking care of this? This like World Health Organization is the organization that will be declaring whether the country is polio free or not, under what conditions they can be declared polio free. All the things will be considered by the WHO. This is the health grounds for the issue that is going on presently, as these Taliban are trying to forcefully occupy Afghanistan to rule this country under the Sharia law, whereas the local people are against to this, and they wanted a democratic government which is of progressive, and the rules are to be governed by the democratic rules. Adopt ISRO protocol to track stubble burning. What is stubble burning? Stubble burning means burning the whatever the remains after the harvest of crop like wheat or maybe paddy, and this is happening mostly around Delhi, that is maybe Punjab, Haryana or Western Uttar Pradesh. Now, we have already discussed what is stubble burning, how this will be causing the PM 2.5 or PM 10 pollution or maybe other pollutants. Now, we have trying to Parliament has come up with one of the rules to contain this stubble burning, as this is causing pollution, but there is no solution so far found out for the mitigation. The mitigation solutions are like we just have recommended in situ, ex situ, but we have not implemented, but there is no protocol so far to monitor, as the collection of data will be very much difficult. Then what is the solution that we are suggesting now? This ISRO technology that will be monitoring from the above, from the space, will be able to collect the information effectively, and that's how it will become easier to monitor, and the data will also be of integrated, so that we will not be having any inconsistencies. Now, this is the first of its kind usage of technology. This may be useful in the paper 3 as well as in paper 1, also in the geography part of the paper. Navy warship reach Gauma for Malabar exercise. What is Malabar exercise? Malabar is a naval exercise under the friendly relations, and what are the countries that are involved? India, Japan, Australia, USA. These are the 4 countries that are involved. When did this has started? This has started in 1992 as the bilateral in between India and USA, and then now there are 4 countries that are involved here in this naval exercise. What is the purpose? As recently we have seen that Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi has addressed the ocean security and IOR region also, because most of the Indo-Pacific are the two oceans which are offering a very economical trade between the world, in between the different continents of the world, and 70 to 80% of the trade happens in this region only. So that maritime security is utmost important area, where our Prime Minister also has addressed this area, and this is making significant important situation now. The Malabar 21 like there may be a question that will be coming, which of the following countries are the took part in Malabar 21, or maybe what is Malabar 21. This is a naval exercise, and as per the statement, Malabar would witness high tempo exercise conducted between destroyers, fighters, like corvettes, submarine, helicopters, and long range multiple maritime patrol aircraft, participating navies, complex surface, subsurface and air operations including live weapons. All these will be like a firing drill, anti-surface, anti-air and anti-submarine warfare drills. Joint tactical exercise will be conducted during the exercise. These are the things that will be conducted during this. Now what is anti-surface, surface to surface, like here there is no surface to surface, as this is under the water, and submarine is under water, and then surface to anti-surface. Now this may be hitting the target on the surface, or maybe hitting target in the air, or maybe hitting target under the water, as we already have the experience of Gaza. Malabar exercise, it is an annual trial naval exercise between the navies of India, Japan, Australia and USA, which is held alternatively in Indian Ocean and Pacific Ocean. And then it began as a bilateral naval exercise between India and USA in 1992 and was expanded into a trilateral later, and then now it is a quadrilateral. Now the exercise is aimed to support free, open and inclusive Indo-Pacific and remain committed to rules based on international order. Now it is also aimed at interoperability with an emphasis on humanitarian assistance, surface war maneuvers and anti-submarine warfare, counter-terror operations, gunnery training and aerial surveillance. These are the areas where we will be focusing in this area. Now the Fisheries Subsidies Pact, WTO, parallels to begin for concluding talks. Now what is WTO? WTO is an organization that is established to facilitate the trade between countries, as this will be giving guidelines or maybe sanctions if the rules are not followed, and most favored nation and other areas where it will be addressing for a smooth and dignified trade between countries. Now here the WTO is meeting about the fisheries. Now why is fisheries very important for us? We have a 7,500 kilometer length of coastline where we have huge potential of fishing. So for us, export of fishes, most of the times we have been facing the rejections from other countries, as there are tariff barriers and non-tariff barriers. What are tariff barriers? Tariff barriers are the barriers that are taxes imposed on our goods, or maybe we are imposing taxes on the goods that we are importing. These are called tariff barriers. Now why do tariff barriers are created? To protect the local area products, we impose the tariff barriers. What are non-tariff barriers? Maybe technical issues, or maybe legal, or maybe if it is a food product, then it will be examined by the components or contents of this food product will also be measured. These are the areas where we will be facing non-tariff barriers. We have been facing the non-tariff barriers for some time. So this WTO is trying to accommodate the issues and conclude for a better trade between the countries. Thank you. Keep watching Addod Solutions for the daily updates.
Addod Solutions. Add-on desired.